Is it 7?
Yeah, it's 7:01.
7:01? Okay.
7 o'clock.
I'm going to call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock.
And roll call, trustees Bear,
Present.
trustee Alton. Here. Trustee Kress.
Present.
Legal counsel Jim Matthews. Here. And Brian Gillette, fiscal officer is here. Please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, committee reports. I have nothing again to report on the JED. Our economic development director, Jerry Rowan, is making a lot of progress with the JED property. It is with Team Neo and Jobs Ohio. And it is also part of the site program for the state of Ohio. So it's one of those sites that are going to be listed where it wasn't before. So there's that. Guide Studio came in again, and after we had our initial meeting where they went through what the town center should look like, they came back with, after we had our focus group or our big group of people, all these different stakeholders, they came back and presented their findings to us, and then they're going to schedule another meeting. So we were involved with that. And the one other thing that I wanted to say is that we do have a renewal levy on the ballot. It is strictly a renewal levy. That's all it is. There's no increase in taxes. There's nothing like that. It's just a strict operating levy. It funds mostly our roads. So our road program and sidewalk programs and those types of things. That's where it funds. But I just wanted to make everyone aware it's strictly a renewal levy, and that's it. And that's all I have. Trustee Kress?
I have a few things I want to talk about. First of all, I attended the subdivision meeting, which I do every month, where we talk about what's happening in our construction in our neighborhoods. So that's always an opportunity for us to express the trustees' concerns about what's happening and to ensure that the county is doing their part to make sure that the housing or whatever is meeting our standards. So it's a great opportunity for me. Sometimes I'm convinced it's 2 hours gone that I'll never get back again. When I attended a Polaris Career Center luncheon, Lisa came with me.
Yeah.
And there is a portion of Polaris that works with businesses, all kinds of business from large companies like Swedgelock and Lincoln Electric and Vitamix. And then there's a small business component. I think, Ann, you've worked with Polaris also on training students, all about jobs. It's all about getting kids into programs, internships, jobs. The program was really, really well done. And they continue to work to talk with kids about opportunities that are available. I don't know if you know that one of the trades are sadly are in huge problems with regard to getting people to join, to do things, to be apprentices, to work construction. Because the average construction worker is now 46 to 48 years old. And there's nobody coming up the ranks to fill those spots. That's why some of these drag times on construction are so long. I had to get a plumber in, and we're waiting 3 weeks just to even get the guy to call back. I'll call you back. We'll set an appointment. Finally, he came. I don't even want to tell you how much it cost because it was a little upsetting because I'm still living in 1975, I think. But in any event, all of these trades are having problems, and Polaris is working very, very hard to encourage kids to come into the trades, learn a trade. Many, if not most of their people go on to some kind of higher education, whether it's a 2-year program or a 4-year program. These are just kids who want to make some money in the process. Cosmetology, office management. There's so many fields, and they gave us a whole bunch of stuff, their catalog, and even their adult training classes after high school are just fabulous. So that was really, really good thing. Then we got this, and maybe Eric's going to talk about it, but this is the annual report that we get from the solid waste district, and it lists all the communities and where they land in terms of the numbers of tons of things. And I'm actually going to have Julie put this on our website because it is it's for a very small community. Well, not very small, we're bigger than so many of them, but it gives you a total of where we are. You'll see our center graph and everything. It's just a good piece of information. And I'm really proud of what we do as a community and what our department does as a department to ensure that we offer a lot of opportunities. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be going to the Soil Water Conservation District annual meeting. And that's always a very good meeting. It's they are the people who do a lot for us with when you see any of the basins in our subdivisions, they monitor those basins, stormwater. They do a lot of that stuff for us. And they're just a great group of folks, and I love to be with them. So I'm going to be going to that meeting tomorrow night. If you didn't get our newsletter, I hope that you'll call Julie. She'll get one out to you. I think she did a good job on that one. And finally, I want to talk about voting, and I want to talk about being informed. If you're counting on social media for your information, try to find another source. Oftentimes, it's toxic. And be your own best advocate. The candidates have websites, or they have a way that you can call them. Call them and ask them, what do you think about this? This is really important to me. Okay? And find out about them. Don't count on somebody else to give you your information. Get a trusted source. Go to the source and talk to them. Your vote is your voice. So you can already, early voting has started, so you can call the Board of Elections to get an absentee ballot. And I encourage you, if you have the least concern that you might not be able to make it because you're not mobile or whatever, that you get that ballot. Or I always like to show up. And vote. I can't say it any more strongly than that. Our entire way of life depends on our willingness to voice how we feel. So I encourage you, get an absentee ballot to the Board of Elections or go out there and vote. And then you'll get what you want with no complaints. Thank you very much.
Trustee Alden?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Report for the cemetery board, sign more deeds as always. And thanks to fiscal officer Gillette, we know that the most recent disbursement to the cemetery board will soon be going out so that they can fund their services, keep the cemetery in the pristine condition that it is in. And hopefully that'll be going out by the end of the week. This week. Yeah, perfect. want to echo a lot of my colleagues' sentiments, especially in terms of Guide Studio. I think the community plan that we're trying to really come up with and envision is exciting. It can be really pivotal in terms of the future of our community, in terms of economic development, in terms of amenities for residents to enjoy. All in all, I just really want to commend my colleagues, commend Jeremy Rowan, our economic development director, for driving that forward, because I think we're really laying the groundwork to be prepared to to do something special in that area. So I'm very excited for that. Also want to again commend Eric Williams and his staff, Lori McElveen, for ensuring that we can get reimbursed for CDBG. Sounds like everything is in order on that. Lori had to go back and forth with a couple folks again this week, which I think that was more on the county's end than it was on ours. But I appreciate her diligence, and I'll talk more about this later, and my colleagues will too. But we're looking ahead to apply for the next round of CDBG and CDSG, so that we're leveraging, as many of the state, federal, and local grant opportunities that we can get in order to continue to do more things in the community to move it forward while still being respectful of the limited, property tax dollars that we have. So I think that's great. And a great example of that is Trustee Kress and I were speaking earlier, and there's asphalt going in the nature preserve and dog park, which is very exciting. That's a huge project, and it's nice to see that moving forward. I think in one of the fastest growing parts of the community, that's going to be something that is really going to last a lot longer than any of us or any of our time on the board. That'll really stand the test of time, and future generations of people get to enjoy that. So I think that's a lot to be proud of. I don't know if Law Director Matthews is prepared to touch on this yet, but I received another call from the North Ridgeville individual who really wants to see that quiet zone implemented for Bronson, right? So I let him know that we were, it was top of mind. Law Director's working on it. Jim, I don't know if you have enough update to share tonight, but you're welcome to for your.
Yeah, nothing tonight, but yeah, we'll move that along, and I think part of it will involve approaching the city about participation in the funding.
Right. And certainly appreciate, I got a call out of the blue about a noise complaint and passed that along to the chief, and him and his staff, I know, have handled that diligently. We'll get to it on the agenda, but barring catastrophe, and I think two members of the board, just falling over in the middle of this meeting, we'll be appointing our new administrator tonight. He's here in the audience. So we're very grateful to have Gary here. And we'll let everybody else address that when we get there. And I'm sorry to go on for so long, but also want to commend Trustee Kress for all of her work on the newsletter. That's not easy. That's something that's certainly going to be sorely missed when she's no longer on the board in January. And certainly echo her sentiments on voting, and also just wanted to briefly address, and I know that, foreign policy is far from the domain of Olmsted Township, but I know that we have people in our community, especially who have, family members or friends who've been directly affected by the terrorist attacks in Israel, and just certainly want to share that that's, really a horrific situation, very just truly inhumane. And I know I speak for my colleagues when we say that we stand with them in this time, and certainly for all of our residents who may have a direct connection, a family connection, a faith connection to that part of the world, that our thoughts and our prayers are with them. So that concludes my report, Madam Chair.
I have a question, really. The cemetery board is looking at, are you still looking at the option of getting what would you call it?
Like a trailer, basically.
Like a trailer office.
Yeah, I know that John is still entertaining that thought. I've kind of asked him to, I don't want to say I've asked him to hold off, but what I've said is, I think we'll have more capacity, with additional staff like Gary coming on to explore some of the different grant opportunities that might be available to, make a bigger dent in fixing up that home, rather than it being their very limited, cemetery board levy funds. If we could go out for something like that to make that.
What do you know the cost of one of those trailer offices?
I don't, but I John claims that it is a pretty cheap alternative, so I would
Yeah.
be very curious how that fits into the
Yeah.
wider scope of the cemetery board's
Yeah.
budget. But on the bright side, I think, well, rising property valuations are challenging for a lot of people and certainly result in larger than usual tax bills. And I know that folks are feeling the brunt of that, but the silver lining is the way that the cemetery board levy works. It will be generating slightly more as a result of those
Right.
increases. So I think that maybe it's possible that between bringing in, I think, Brian, you said it was like 30 or 35,000 that we were going to be
Yeah,
sending
might be a
back,
little bit more than that, yeah.
which is more than usual, right?
Yeah, well, we do it every 2 years, so you get about 70 to 75 normally, so.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see, what the future disbursements hold. But I think that, if we're accounting for those additional dollars coming in, that's definitely a project that between grant funding and their existing revenues.
Well, I suggested to John, even if you, if there was a way to, some people might buy, someone might want to buy that house. I think it's at close to a century home at least. It just got fundamental issues that are, when I served on the board. And I think it might be, maybe it's a sale item and then you can
use that money
for something else.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think it, rather than put money in repair, but I
John's
wonder
very
where that
keen on the
was.
trailer.
Yeah,
Very keen on the trailer.
good deal. Oh, I would be too. That's okay. Good deal.
Thank you, trustee Alton. Okay, department reports, fire department.
Didn't you go first last time?
You always lead with your best.
Oh, what an bump.
That's what I was looking for.
I was joking. I was joking.
He's always joking, yeah.
All right, good evening. This report for October 11th, best day of the year, 2023. Those Ironman and Ryan Frank are new part-time firefighters, one of which we're going to hopefully approve tonight. Lewis has already started. We've got him training on the crew, and Ryan will start on the 23rd. That will bring our part-time staffing up to 8, and that would help us out quite a bit. Cody Shensky has completed his 1-year probation. He's now a black helmet. Congratulations to Cody. Damon Schreiber celebrates his 17th year anniversary this month. And I wanted to bring to the board's attention, we receive a lot of emails. Most of them are fun, but I got one today that was a great email. One of our residents who had come up to drop off some flags in the mailbox that we have up front. And apparently, one of our firefighters, Mr. Firefighter Foreman, formerly of the service department, did an over-the-top job. And got her kids on the fire truck, showed them around, got them stuff, awesome looking. So I'll be forwarding this to you and putting it in his file. I just really appreciate my guys and how hard they work.
Can we add that to the minutes too? For this meeting?
Absolutely. So, like I said, it's I know I'm the prettiest firefighter we have, but without all the rest of the guys doing their job, they make it worth, everything. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of push down in this job, but every once in a while getting something like that is awesome.
Frank's asking if you might be willing to read the letter.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I don't know how long it is, but at your discretion.
Dear Chief Methvin, my husband and I want to make sure that you know the wonderful treatment we received from your firefighters from my foreman. We had stopped by last Friday morning to place a few worn flags in the mailbox at your station at Bagley and Cook. Only to find firefighter Foreman outside on the engine of the ambulance. I approached him to ask if we could show our small grandchildren the vehicles, and he welcomed us to do so. He then showed us around and was sure to include our 3- and 1-year-old grandkids in the conversation. He then went inside and returned with stickers, balls, little fire trucks, helmets for the kids. In fact, when he delivered the kids to their parents late that afternoon with their goodies, my son commented that they were very nice kid helmets. My foreman is clearly all about serving his community. He represented your department extremely well, his professionalism and work. Thank you for your service and the service of all you command. Sincerely, Miss Otter. So
That's nice. That's really.
it's a day worth a while, week, guys. So, moving on to training, a lot of it. Ohio State Fire Marshal's chlorine emergency trailer was here last week for hazmat training. If you check our Facebook site, you'll see pictures of the guys out there working on it. This is an 8-hour training. Just as a refresher, hazmat is a deep subject that we have gotten a lot more ability to train on because of the disasters in East Palestine. And so we're taking advantage of it as much as possible. This was a completely free program that the fire marshal puts on, and they bring the trailers out. We run through all the guys through. We also have a lot of plug-in from other folks that had come out from as far south as Columbus and as far west, I think, Gilbert Heights. So we had about 8 departments that participated along with everybody in the township fire department. We've got lots of training going on with the new engine this month. You'll see them out in front of the firehouse pulling the hose off, running the pumps, doing the ladder and extrication equipment, just familiarizing themselves with this new piece of equipment so that when the time comes, there's not going to be that hesitation. They'll know exactly what to do and how to do it. EMS training this month with Southwest is all about the advanced cardiac life support, the bread and butter of resuscitation. Basically, when someone has a cardiac event, this runs through all the gamuts. I actually went down and taught the chief's class because they're embarrassed. They don't want to be with the guys when they're doing their class. So we want to make sure we take care of them. And then all the rest of the guys have gone through on their shifts and with their shifts to get that recertification, which is required by the Ohio EMS board to continue to practice as paramedics. So it was an 8-hour class as well. This quarter fire rescue training is capnography. Again, plugs into the ACLS venue or that chain of thought. Firefighter Raskell and Firefighter Schreiber are continuing to train to be certified as a car seat technician. This will give us 1 car seat technician on each shift so that it better serves the population. 90% of the time, these folks need it that day. You know, it's not that they're not planners or anything. I'm not criticizing anybody, but they call up and they say, "Hey, can I come up and get the car seat put in?" And with only 1 technician, we had to schedule it. Now, our hope is that we can just, come on up, we'll take care of it. So, and that's where we want to be as a department. Firefighter Schreiber, Jansen, myself are all attending the Northeast Ohio Fire Protection Fall Training Conference in Salt Fork. This is a 3-day conference that basically gives us all of our fire safety inspector for the businesses and even the residences, if they're doing certain things, are required by law to have a fire safety inspection. So it allows us to get all of our recertification hours, brings us up to speed on all the new fire code, which is riveting. Basically, it's a good way to get education from experts in the field. They bring in private business owners that run fire safety businesses, as well as the state fire marshal is going to be there. And I believe they're rolling out the new fire reporting system next week. Next week as well. So that will be a busy week. The ease of work stress management classes, they're 4 hours each, will be held on each shift this month as a part of the ARPA grant that we received earlier this year for firefighter wellness. Again, most of you here heard me say the biggest thing is keeping these guys and girls in their jobs for their entirety of their career. Just had a friend of mine who passed away on duty in Richmond after 40 years of service. So that's 40 years as a firefighter, lieutenant, captain, and battalion chief. I mean, it's still a bummer to go, but I mean, 40 years is a long career. He enjoyed every day of it. He was a great guy, and we were very proud to know him. So, registering firefighters to attend the International Association of Firefighters Resiliency Training Session, which is scheduled for November 28th at the German Club. This training is part of our grant, again, from ARPA. So this is all taken care of by the funds. We're not paying anything for it. But we will have the German Club is hosting, and we'll have that available to all firefighters in the community. So it's a potential of 40 people in that class, and we should be able to fill it up. Also, we had coffee with the chiefs last month. We presented the new township video, which is amazing. Went over the new engine with the community, and we watched the drone footage from the push-in ceremony. Thanks to Chief Adam and his guys for doing that. That was awesome as well. I believe we had people here for almost 30 minutes or 45 minutes over, going over the truck and answering questions about it. So it was a good interaction. We had a lot of good feedback on that. As far as the equipment, I want to thank the service department, all the fall decorations. Again, they do everything in the township to make the place look amazing. Really appreciate Eric and the guys coming out there. The banner in front of the station to promote Fire Prevention Month. children from ECC and Olmsted Falls Intermediate have completed the posters. And winner has been selected. It'll be sent off to the state fire marshal's office, and there's cash and prizes available to them. I think it's a scholarship or something. But each school has one winner that the fire department will take to school one morning in the new fire truck.
Nice.
So, and we do pictures, normally have guests that show up, that may or may not be in a dog that shows up. So, it will be, so, Gary hasn't been sparking yet.
No, he doesn't.
We did, some work this week with the eco lighting project. We're changing our station lights over to energy efficient LEDs. Again, thanks to Eric, Mike, and all the service department guys for heading this project and getting this, going forward. We certainly appreciate it. And again, the push ceremony for our new engine open house was well attended. We had Piper, Sparky. It was amazing. It was the first one I ever run, even though, I got a lot of trucks in a bigger department. We just don't, it's not as big of an event. And, it was an honor to be in front of the community and showing off the truck, and just really a moving ceremony. We really enjoyed it as a department, and we appreciate everybody that came out. And then, of course, we have the Halloween open house event on October 15th. Encourage everybody to come out. I'm going to assume somebody's going to talk about that today. Okay, good. So I'll stop. AFG grant may or may not open in October. So we are waiting for that. We did not receive any funding. I haven't gotten a refusal letter, but they've handed out all the money, so we didn't get anything from the AFG for 2022. So we are going to intend on reapplying for some stuff in 2023. Total incidents as of October 10th is 1,741. We are up over 100 runs to last year. It's actually 122 as of the time of that. We had over 190 runs in September. We had 20 fire calls, 142 EMS calls, 7 motor vehicle collisions, 3 CO2s, a lot of service related calls. And folks, it's October. Fire safety starting now. Well, it should always be going on, but you guys are cranking up your heaters. Let's think about what we want to do, maybe having the big heaters serviced so that we don't have to show up and show you the new truck from your front yard. Never a good day. It's pretty, but it's not that pretty. So let's encourage, Frank, if you'll encourage the folks down at the HOA to absolutely get those heaters, make sure they're in service, follow the service appointments, check on those cords, slip trip falls hazards, the whole gamut. If they have any questions, we have pamphlets galore, and then there's stuff on our website they can look at as well. So, and that ends my report. Unless anyone has any questions.
You want to just expound on the safety open house? It's for a Halloween safety. We call it the safety open house, but it's Halloween and.
Yep, there's a Halloween contest. The whole station, or the base of the station is open. There are tons of things that the kids and adults are going to do. There's food. There's going to be somebody's bringing pizza. I don't remember who that was.
Yeah.
So I think there's hot dogs and cookies and cakes and
Popcorn.
There's Plinko. Right.
Dance party.
There's a dance party. Janine's going to be leading that.
And there's like a furry animal. What is it? What was it? A furry animal? What is
Wild Jacks.
Oh, yeah, they have an animal, some kind of exotic animal.
Exotic in animals.
Jungle
Yes.
Jim.
It's
Yeah,
kind of a jungle
there you
gym
go.
thing,
Yeah.
He'll be there. There's a DJ.
It's from 1 to 3, Sundays from 1 to 3.
And there seems like there's other stuff. Christmas Snacks will have their booth.
Yes.
All the departments have a booth or a setup.
I think that's about it.
Photo op.
Sparky.
Photo op, yes,
Yes.
photo ops too.
Sparky will be there.
Sparky will be there.
Popcorn truck will be there.
Yes,
It's just a lot going on. So,
Yeah,
but
a lot of
if you
stuff.
haven't been, you should come.
yeah,
Tom, I'm looking at you.
even big.
It's a lot of
children are
fun
allowed
every
to
year.
Yeah.
Every year, we
Yeah,
have a
come. Big
huge
children
turnout.
are allowed to come.
Yeah,
But
big
the
kids are
adults
allowed to,
come.
exactly. Thank you, Chief.
Okay.
And that is Sunday.
This
Sunday,
Sunday,
the 15th.
this Sunday, the
At what,
15th,
sorry,
1 o'clock.
1 to 3.
Okay, service department.
mixing it up.
I'll gladly take second, please. Good evening, everyone. The service department's report for October 11th. We'll start off with our major project in the townships, the Stearns Road overpass. I got word today that on the 23rd of this month, it's not for sure, but it's pretty for sure, that on the 23rd, starting on the 23rd, they will close even the southbound lane for 3 to 4 days during the day, reopen it during the evenings. So all the detour signs will be brought back down, and the people who normally in the beginning of the project will still do it as we did before. We'll have to utilize Jennings Road north and southbound. This is to complete the southbound lane of the concrete curb and gutter and the sidewalk. So that's the purpose of that. Their goal is to get that southbound lane complete, and then the traffic will still be southbound, but we'll be utilizing the new lane for winter. That's their goal. So, the other change, they moved the mailbox. I think, in my opinion, more appropriately, more so on the actual overpass where it's not in the construction zone. So I took a ride there. It looks like it's more, looks like it'd be more user friendly for the residents to pick up their mail. So those are the only really changes. JD striping did complete all of our county roadway striping, except for Mackenzie. That will be completed. They are going to be doing striping in North Ridgeville, and they will be completing Mackenzie at that time. That has given us the chance as a department to do quite a bit extensive crack sealing this week. Finish up some crack sealing on that road. It's always nice to do the crack sealing before the striping, so you're not crack sealing over brand new paint. So. You might have noticed the county is replacing the PRJ joints on the overpass. This is the pressure relief joints that you continuously hear the thump as you drive over them. So the county is in the process of repairing those, grinding those down, and repatching those joints. Obviously on county time. We'll get it done. Force account update. For this month, $45,223.72. Our year total is $373,360.07. We're approaching our 500,000 goal. We received the proposal from Fabrizi. This Fabrizi does our snow and ice removal on all our 22 miles of county roadways in the township. That is on the agenda tonight. And we had our good housekeeping. This is a yearly thing done by the Board of Health. This is mandated each year for our MS4 or stormwater. And basically they go through the building and see how we're performing, how well we are stewards of our stormwater, oil leaks and all kinds of things, how we handle our household hazardous waste. Some things are very tough because it's a 1941-year-old building and our drains don't all go to sanitary, but it's kind of a hard thing to do with that old building. Also, the Eastwood, the culvert project on Eastwood, the county culvert project on Eastwood. The final walkthrough was today with the county. And I was told that Eastwood will be open on Friday. So this week. Crestwood obviously is still under construction, and I was told that'll be another 3 weeks. So those projects are moving forward. Our township road program is basically completed. That is Timber Lane, Heatherwood Circle, Funnels Ridge Lane, and they're doing some final seeding on Avondale. I think A&J did a great job. It was a great project. And I will tell you, if you've been on Avondale Court before the project and you go there today, it is impressive.
It is.
Yeah. Increased the size of the cul-de-sac, which is by far the smallest cul-de-sac in the Olmsted Township. My guys as plow drivers would be ecstatic. And it just really looks good. That was not a good looking street, I will tell you. Also, our contractor A&J is moving forward, almost 3/4 done with our sidewalk project that was mentioned on Brook Road. And also mentioned The paving started at our dog park in Shady. Crossroads is doing that paving, and they got a ton done today. Very impressive. It looks phenomenal. We'll have some pictures for the next meeting. We also sent out our private HOA snow and ice documents for all of the, I think it's 7 private roads that we complete snow and ice removal for. So we sent those out for renewal. And I want to mention the leaf pickup, slightly a touchy subject, but yes, we are our first year performing this in-house. It's we ordered 2 self-contained machines that are a little bit delayed. We have reached out to Morton's Landscaping that is more than willing to assist us if these machines don't come in time. And that's what I intend to do. So my intention is possibly the start of the 23rd, which is a Monday, or the following Monday, which is the 30th. As always, this determines on amounts of piles of leaves. That's what's going to determine how quickly we get out there. So we will get it done. It might be a slow start, but it'll be a strong finish, I promise. Facilities, as Chief mentioned, the lighting at fire and police, and at our service department, this is the upgrade LED lighting, high efficiency lighting, sorry. In our cold storage building, which is almost complete. And I think other than the bay in the fire department, that's the main spot they need to finish at the fire department. We finally got a quote for our handrail enhancement at Town Hall. It is a little pricey, but this is all hand welded work done to these steel, hand welded steel, done to these handrails. And it's about just over $17,000. We're still working on all of our snow and ice trucks to make sure they're maintained and ready to go. Programs, branch chipping was performed on the 25th of September. We had 158 residents that participated and collected 90 cubic yards of material, about 4 full trucks. Our bulk trash drop off was held on 10/7. We had 54 residents. We filled 2 30-yard containers. And just a reminder, we have 1 more month that will be in November, the first Saturday in November, and that'll be our last month for our bulk trash. We'll still collect our household hazardous waste. And on that note, we brought in our household hazardous waste to Cuyahoga County Solid Waste District. I know Trustee Kress touched on this a little bit. Just the impact, there was 9 communities. We brought it in Friday on the 6th. 9 communities participated in it. These are big communities. Westlake, Euclid, Rocky River, Bay Village, and Little Olmsted Township brought in 3,107 pounds. That was the second highest of those big communities. So, that's 3,000 pounds of material that ain't either in our soil, drinking water, or in our soil. So we offer that 3 times a month, so people really partake in that. It's a good program. So training our snow and ice, we have a snow and ice training through LTAP that will be October 18th. It's through the state of Ohio. They really do a good job with that. And personnel, we're still posting jobs on cleveland.com. We are hiring Mr. Jason Hune. That's on a resolution tonight. He'll start the 16th on Monday. His background did come back and physical. So we welcome him there. We welcome him to the team. Attendance bonus was given out to 3 of my individuals, employees, Referred Porter, Jason Jarris, Chris Kasperchek, and Matt McKennell. And Madam Chair, that concludes my report, unless there's any questions.
Did you want to touch on October 21st? We're having our shred event.
Yeah, October 21st, we have our shred event that will be at the service department. That is 9 to 12. It's open to the community. That's also a great program.
It is.
It's highly attended, so
Yep.
bring your stuff and we'll grind it up.
Well, yeah, if I may, do you have more?
Yeah, good.
Oh, sorry. Just really excited about Avondale. Just really excited to see that being done. So thank you. I know that you advocated for that, before I was here. And I think that, those federal grant dollars, it was hard to justify such a large spend on such a small road. But I think, it's a great example of how that federal, American Rescue Plan, really, those dollars were leveraged in our community in a way that homeowners there are going to feel for a very long time. So I'm super excited about that and just appreciate your advocacy in getting that done. So that's the first thing. The other two things, one, I know we talked before the meeting about this letter that I received. Brian, if it's possible, I just want this added to the minutes because I'm just going to ask him to briefly address it. But got a letter from an individual concerned about the light on Jennings and Bagley. So just if you could touch on that publicly.
So obviously in the past, there was not any lights, any traffic signal on Jennings and Bagley. Never was. Jennings was a low impact roadway, not heavily traveled, obviously nothing comparable to Stearns Road. So during the project, we obviously saw concerns when the road closed, the light wasn't there. But I know we work with Chief Adams, and myself, we put a big voice to have a light put there. So the light is there, the light is temporary, the light is only during the construction. So that light will be taken down, fingers crossed, next November 2024 when the project's completed. It's a temporary short-term traffic.
And that's what that individual was asking for. So I just wanted to make sure that was discussed publicly so that way anybody else who's interested in that understands at least where we think we're at right now. Things come up. But and then lastly, I know that we've talked a lot about, and I appreciate your desire to do in-house leaf pickup. I know there's going to be growing pains with that, and there's always a delay in getting equipment, but different question about other in-house services. So for example, we have worked hard on this Cook Road sidewalk project. We've gotten, easements where we need them. There's one kind of smaller parcel that we're still working on. So if the board, now that, most of the work is pretty much done on that, if the board is able to broker an agreement to put sidewalk there or take the land by other means, as we've discussed with Mr. Matthews, are you confident that the service department could handle putting in, that last, right next to the corner, right where the is ending?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's all.
How many feet would you say?
It's whatever that.
So it's 75.
75?
feet.
Yeah.
You did that, didn't you do that on Laurel Lane? Remember when you did the Laurel Lane piece?
Yeah.
Maybe not that big, but it was not that big a problem.
No, I faith in my crew.
Great. And I know you say yes to everything. I just wanted to make sure that we. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
And Eric, thanks a million for the fall decorations. It looks, the place looks beautiful. That corner at Bagley and Bench really looks nice. Our town hall always looks beautiful. Our building here is beautiful. Police and fire, it just makes a lot of difference and it shows how much we care about our people's property. It is their property and not ours. So thank you so much.
Okay, police department.
Okay.
Is this the best for last?
Yeah.
No, Tom is the best for last.
So.
Oh,
Tom's the best.
Tom
is the best for last.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you.
Being better, I want to recognize my people and my agency. Usually, we have an anniversary of some sort, whether it be a birthday or a year of service. Nothing right now, but I do want to recognize just not only my admin staff, but also my officers for a lot of different things, their professionalism, their dedication.
I take a look around and see what's going on, and just I have a lot of training that's occurring right now in my agency, and with that, there's a lot of planning, organizing, scheduling, documenting. It's just for those cogs and everything to align and all those gears. It's a multifaceted. It's from everything to Sergeant Kovic making the schedule work to the officers that provide the training and do the training to plan and organize it, to make sure that it gets to my lieutenant and reviews it and make sure it's on par, things like that. So that takes a lot. And then there's also the responsibilities right now of fulfilling public records. I don't know what it is, but they come in ebb and flows. And right now we've had several. And my one sergeant who does that, public records, he's kind of pulling his hair out, but he's doing a great job at that. And thank you, Sergeant Sears, for everything you do to make sure that they get out in a timely manner. Also, the tasks that are overseeing the transition to our new CAD that we're going to be rolling out in October 24th, which is Motorola P1. I have several officers that right now are going to be the ones that are going to be the advocates and the trainers for our agency. So when we make that transition, they can help be the trainers for our organization and help us understand the new system, if you will. Also, a lot of equipment ordering. When we do these things, we vet, we research, we see what's best that's going to suit our agency. And I know that my sergeants, my admin, and a lot of the officers, they help do this, and it's a timely task as well. So, and then once again, my LT, which is my number 2, just I want to thank him so much for being on a regular and consistent basis on top of everything. These are not the glamorous jobs or the fun jobs in the police department, but these are the essential jobs that we do all the time that just make the police department professional, and it's just by doing so, it just helps us serve our community. And so I want to thank each one of these guys. And a lot of this is towards the end of the year, and it becomes a real task, if you will. And thank you to all of them. So hats off. But moving on to training and education, not a whole lot of training right now. There is some that I'm going to save for the next board of trustees meeting. But just recently, we had our 2 recently hired officers, which are Patrick Fitterin, or Sean Fitterin, and also Tyler Krajic. They just went to the EROC, which is Emergency Response Operations course. That is a driving or pursuit course, if you will. Those courses we send each officer to, and that's something that you want to do. It's a perishable skill. We want to make sure not only do we practice with our firearms, but and our defense tactics tools, but also probably the thing we do the most is being in our mobile office of driving. So the company that we use is called Drive Team. They're out of Cuyahoga Falls, and they have blue and red courses. They have driving courses for fire, and they also have where the Dalmatian drives, I guess. Is that what it is? Chris, something like that. The dog drives the car, something like that. Yeah, they learn how to be second responders and follow us into the call. So, in any event, we send everyone to pursuit supervision, pursuit operations, essential emergency driving, half-day skid courses. So there's like 5 or 6 courses that each officer will get. And it just greatly reduces our chance of being involved in a crash or an injury. They do a wonderful job at this, and it's a lot of fun to go to the class and put the vehicle through the test. You find out really quickly your limitations and the vehicle's limitations, and what you can do more or less. You find out real quick what is safe operation speeds, and there are a lot less than what you find out. But so we got Krajic and Spinner going through that 8-hour course. Also, a couple other things that are moving on miscellaneous. We have our 2024 budget justification reports that we're comprising and completing, which will be forwarded to the board. The other thing is we've received the grant. We were awarded the Ohio ARPA First Responders Grant, and basically that was through the Ohio Emergency Management Agency. That grant was to bolster the morale and retention of officers during COVID times. So I talked to Chief Rogers from Olmsted Falls. He said there was only a handful of agencies that applied and received it in Cuyahoga County. So I think the number was as low as 16, and we were one of them. So we're grateful that we got that. With that, there are some final hoops that need to be jumped through, more or less just signing by the board and then forwarded back to the state. So that's in place. And then a couple of things that we did over the past week or two was Verkada is a company that we're looking to do our site cameras for the station. The current one that we have is outdated, and not only is the equipment old, but just also the software along with the hardware is pretty much at end of life, if you will. So we're looking at something that's going to be a little bit more modern and just enhance our security of our facility. Some of the things they offer are now, they came out and they want to show us is they actually have professional monitoring services, kind of like ADT or something like that, so they can verify and respond to any kind of threats. So matter of fact, if you have a camera that you want to put in the park or something like that, they can actually detect if somebody is walking on the grounds as first say an animal or something like that. So it's kind of really neat, and they'd be able to then notify our police dispatch, and then we can be dispatched to that area to see if maybe somebody's on grounds if they shouldn't be or something like that. So pretty good technology. Please, as Chris said, come join us again at police chief's coffee. Coffee with the Chiefs, that's going to be Thursday, October 26th, here at the Avenue Building. Yeah, and we're going to bring in and show we received. We have not done yet, but we got our rifle ballistic shields that we want to show off. They're pretty impressive. So that, and then whatever Chris has got planned too. So please come join us for Coffee with the Chief. With new equipment, but one of the other ones that's just outside and it's kind of dark now, but parked by the service department is our newly acquired pull trailer, the enclosed one, much bigger and larger, which helps us accommodate some of our equipment. And we use that essentially right now for all our firearms training equipment. With that, right now, we will get a decal. So I have Sergeant Sears, or excuse me, Sergeant Kovic has acquired proposals from Fast Signs to get decaling on it. And also we're going to be doing the reflective chevron on the back, similar to like you see on like the fire vehicles and that, just so it's enhances our safety if we're pulling the trailer in limited visibilities. A couple other things is we're just going to be outfitting it as well with storage systems and work areas, lightings, tie down points. For some of the equipment that's going to go in there, Milwaukee pack outs, tracks, workbenches, things like that. But once again, this just helps get the necessary equipment that we have to our site for training. Also, we ended up getting another DJI Avata drone, which we purchased for just under $800. This is one of our mini drones that we demoed before that was able to fly through the actual buildings itself. And we did use it outside as well. That was one of them that did some of the filming of the push-in for the fire department as well, along with the large one. So we use them for a lot of different things, not just for police, but like I said, they also enhance being just used for the community and various other aspects as well. Moving on to the last thing is just our stats from September 21st to October 5th. We had 635 cab reports. We also had 19 incident reports. We had 6 motor vehicle accidents, 6 arrests, 51 traffic citations, and the most appealing thing is our community engagements with we're at 41. So other than that concludes my report. Unless Madam Chair or any one from the board has any questions.
Just one quick question. Congratulations on that ARPA first responder grant. That's great. Can you tell us kind of what specifically that's going to help fund?
So what it was is, you know, a lot of times what that helps fund is it's actually famous for the officers. The problem is, and it's very unfortunate. We're seeing a lot of officers, police officers and firefighters that are leaving more or less the public services and going to other different aspects of jobs. They're not. We used to put it this way. When I first started, we would have a police test and there would be 500 applicants. Now we're lucky if we have anywhere from a dozen. So we're just not seeing the numbers anymore, and just we want to make sure that we are able to retain those officers and keep the ones that we have, and you know, keep them, you know, gainfully and happily you know, employed. And so the state of Ohio has, you know, basically you know, said, hey, look, we need to make it more appealing to make sure that our safety forces, police and fire, are staying, you know, in the actual jobs themselves and not what else would be going. Great, that's it.
Thank you, Chief.
Oh, sure. Welcome.
Okay, Tom, best for last.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tom.
Well, Mark is always hard act to follow, so. I get up here and I look at my report and I probably kick it out in a minute, so we have to spice it up a little. So we'll start with business. We did do 93 fermented plus in the last 4 weeks. So that has picked up substantially. Everything from houses to still pools, decks, remodeling. Commercial, we're looking like we're gonna wrap up Teresa's Pizza tomorrow. The cold storage building, the building is coming along very well. It's about done also. We took in plans for Sunset Memorial's basement remodel. That's an interesting one. We're putting in a new cooler and a new dressing room. So we the rest of the guys sitting down there. That's how I do things. And I'm already building a structure to inspect that project. Anyway, systems, we're still working hard, 2 to 3 meetings a week with iWorks. We are experiencing a little bit of difficulty with our plan review fees. But we're working on that tomorrow and Friday, and we're probably gonna run the first house through this week through that system to make sure that it's everything works online so that our citizens can also do that. We're also excited to attend the Halloween open house. We're looking forward to that. We've got cousin It is going to be coming to represent us.
Cousin Ed?
Cousin It.
Okay.
Actually, cousin It's female cousin.
Oh,
So you can talk about a little bow and cousin.
gotcha,
So I think
gotcha.
you guys need to make sure you visit and
Oh, yeah,
say hi to cousin It.
we will do that.
Training, we're still playing away with iWorks. I sound like a broken record player, but iWorks is our important system that we're just about ready to fully launch, and we're looking forward to switching over everything. We've got new filing systems we've worked on. New records retention. We've got quite a bit going on with that, and I'm very pleased. We're starting to move in a very forward direction, and that's saying a lot from what we started with. And my new category, equipment. We have no new equipment. But we do take on a lot of equipment. There you go. So, drones, trucks, maybe some construction equipment. So we're here. So, appreciate anything. Have you got some of those toys that you got over there, maybe bring one over,
Yeah.
But, I could really use that. It gives me a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna need a shelf. All kinds of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm for that one.
Yeah.
I think an installed shelf would be good.
And, again, commenting about Mark's awesome, active follow. He talks a lot about his staff. So I would like to mention that we have 3 people on our staff. And, Mark can also boast about how long they've been there, well, so can I, because we have one that has been there for 6 months.
The longest one.
And I've been there for 3 months. And our newest girl, Sophia, who's wonderful, has been here 2 weeks. What do you have to say about that, Mark?
I don't have
Good job, Tom.
I just want to say too, Tom, this has been a yeoman's job. This has been absolutely the most difficult department to,
For sure.
you came into a cluster
Yeah.
and you are really, really putting in the work and the time and the effort to really make a huge impact. I know it's a long way to go, and I know you know what I mean? I know you're a little underwater. Just hang in there. We'll get there,
Yeah. Great people around me, and I'll tell you what, it's a challenge, but it's
You're doing
I'm
terrific.
enjoying it, and I do like seeing the blocks building.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hopefully next year, this time I'll have, a lot of things to say.
Yeah.
Maybe a
I don't,
fire truck.
There you go.
I don't think we can minimize, but John, we can't minimize the fact that complaints, contractor registration and payments are already on the online.
And online, fully.
This is huge.
It is.
Because you just don't realize it's going to cut in on that foot traffic and expedite things
Saves everybody
so
time.
much more quickly. And when the permits can be applied, applications can be done online. This staff is young and lean and hardworking, and they will go at it until they get it right. It's been I've seen it up close and personal before Tom got here. It was pretty scary. But I haven't been in much because I know it's working good. And the working relationship, even with our engineer and Tom, just moves it along. This is the success of Olmsted Township. It's not the three of us. It's these folks at the ends that make it all work for us. And when you see it in action, it really makes you feel proud. So, you got good people working with you. So we're excited about it. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
And any other questions?
Nope, that's good. Thank you.
And by the way, if you haven't I mentioned, I want to just pony up. If you haven't seen our video, go on our Facebook page and you'll be able to see our video. We did kind of a feel good pride in our community video. It's just 2 minutes. Take a look at it. We're real proud of it. That's all I have on that.
Okay, Law Director Jim Matthews.
Just one item for the board to consider. The board previously authorized me or instructed me to prepare administrative charges against one of the alternate members to the zoning commission. And I believe to deal with the scheduling conflict with a pre-existing public session we're going to have on the 25th, we need to move the date.
Okay.
So you guys vote on that. I'd ask the board to move the hearing of that matter to November 15th at 6:30.
Okay, November, yeah, that's fine.
Great.
So do we need
Yeah,
to
do a vote, yeah.
Do you need to make a motion?
Do it by motion, and then I'll adjust the charges and have the charges reserved.
Great.
Okay, so
Thank
I'm gonna move to change the date for the hearing to November 15th
Second.
at 6:30.
Great. I had trustee Alden second that. So, and to approve, moving the hearing from 25th of
October
October to 11:15 at
Yeah.
6:30 PM.
Yeah.
Right before this meeting, trustees Mayor,
Yes,
trustee Alden,
Yes.
and trustee Kress.
Yes.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah, it is.
Sure.
6:30, yep. And Brian Gillette, fiscal
I'm the
officer.
real last.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
that, you guys are all.
There you
riding
go.
over there. Anyway, mine will be short and sweet. I did finish up closing August. September will be done this week, so I'll send out to all you guys financial statements. So then you'll have the first 9 months of the year, and then definitely just start talking about budget. So I know police, you guys are really good. Fire, same thing. Tom, you and I will go over your stuff. I know Eric and Lori will go over theirs and get us their information. Right after we close September, Tracy will send out all the pertinent information to you guys to see what you spent over the first 9 months, the different vendors and all that kind of stuff. So, go over that like you do every year, and then we'll come up with a good preliminary budget before the end of the year. And then we'll get all our purchase orders done that first meeting. And then we'll be hitting the road in 2024. So that's all I had.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, old business, township IT services.
I didn't know that.
You didn't,
I
okay,
mean, we can discuss it if you'd like. I know that we put out an RFP. We received several responses. We received we actually heard from 2 of them. One of them actually had the capacity to serve the township. I know that I'm very comfortable proceeding with that vendor. I spoke with some other communities that, just ask them, hey, what do you pay for your IT services? Because I know one of the hard things for us is we've had the same guy who's taken really good care of us since like 2014. And when you're going from somebody who you've had since 2014, that's really given us a pretty sweet deal. But now the township has grown. He also has had his responsibilities grow with Strongsville, smaller staff. It's I think time to transition. And so in justifying, the increased cost and changing contracts, I spoke with just a couple of mayors just to say, or city council members to say, how much is in your budget for IT? And I found that, what we were being quoted is still pretty low for, communities in the area. So that's all to say, I'm comfortable to move forward. I know you still had some questions. I'm happy to, continue to look into that. I'm not trying to move anything.
Yeah, no, okay, I just, like,
I didn't
yeah.
know whether,
yeah,
but I'm comfortable to proceed, but I want to make sure you're comfortable.
okay, which I'm obviously not comfortable right now because we're going from $16,800, $54,000 plus additional, you know what I mean? I'd like to, we talked about at the staff meeting, we talked a little bit about, actually, we talked a lot at the staff meeting. Was it last week?
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday. About what, how we could justify the increase. It was brought up that maybe we should go out for another RFP. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Should we negotiate with the vendor that, you know what I mean? Should we negotiate with the vendor that gave us the quote since we only had one person?
Actually follow through, right? Yeah.
Right, one person followed through. So anyway, I just brought it up for discussion. We just.
Yeah, that's fine to have that update. Yep.
And I have concerns when you only have one quote. I need
that's
something to compare it to.
I think that's right.
And if somebody says, this cup should cost 10 cents.
Right.
But somebody says it's going to cost you $10. Thinking to myself, okay, if I get one person tell me it costs $10, I'm not so sure. But if two other people say it's $10 now, used to be 10 cents, but it's not anymore, then I've got to figure out, do I skinny down what I want or do I pay $10? Okay, so mine is all about comparative shopping with like services. And maybe we don't need everything we've asked for. I don't know, but I'm uncomfortable with one follow through and one quote. So I know we talked about this, and I think maybe going out again and seeing if we come up with something that's worthy, and see where that is. Well, we've also, this, in my opinion, bear in mind, I'm the exiting trustee. You don't have to listen to what I say, but when we did our services for dispatch, in a lot of communities, the admin portion takes the whole bill. We divide it among everybody. Each department, we're extremely, I'm not so sure what you hear on Facebook, but because I don't go on, but we're extremely fiscally responsible. Every single one of these guys over here are responsible for their budget. That's everything. Insurance, payroll, equipment, material, insurance, we set aside everything. It's a center, self-contained. And so they have a portion of dispatch in there. Okay. Insurance. All their equipment costs them big bucks, Tom. Just to let you know, in insurance costs. So I'm just saying the same thing I would want to do with IT costs. Maybe a base figure, and then anything over that, you can't figure out how to use your stuff, it's going to cost you more.
Yeah.
So we're looking at this just to ensure that we are doing the right job.
Yeah.
That's That's where I come from.
And I respect all that, and I agree with that, and I don't want to beat the dead horse here. I will say that I did, the other week briefly talk with Chris Oswald and just say, hey, my colleague has some concerns about cost. Can we negotiate down where you're at on that? And they have a whole formula actually for how they bill different local governments that they service. And we actually came in at the lower end of that. So I'm not sure how much flexibility we're going to have with them in terms of cutting different services out of their proposal. I'm happy to explore that. Like I said, I'm happy to do legwork here, but and again, don't want to belabor the point, but I think just the employees deserve the best. And I think that I don't want to be penny wise and pound foolish when it comes to IT. And I'm not saying we are or will be, but I just want to make sure that we give our employees the best tools to succeed, much like we would with equipment and all these other things.
Sure.
So
Okay, I see. I get it. Yeah. Okay.
Frank, I think has a question. I don't know what your thoughts are
On this topic.
Can you wait till after? Yeah, thank you, Frank. New business, the MOU with police and the service department medical opt-out for the new rate, 500 and 250. I'm gonna move to approve.
There's no approval yet right now.
Are you sure?
They're still, the
right.
union must vote on that.
Okay.
I sent it to Sergeant Kovic.
Yep.
And he and Officer Jeff Kirby are both going to ensure that if they have questions, they're going to talk with Jim Matthews. But overall, they're going, I think, going to take a vote on this. Okay. So there's no approval yet. We're not ready.
Okay, just so we're clear then. Okay, so, and then we're looking at applying for the CDBG and CDSG, which would be a total 50,000 and 150,000.
Right.
And we're gonna just kind of open it up and talk about what I think we're looking at a number of things. We're looking at sidewalks, we're looking at parks, we're looking at
Economic development.
Storefront
Renovation. We're part of the Greenways plan, so we've looked at this trail that goes under the CEI easement. It's part of the county Greenways plan. And so Riley and I have been talking about that as that sounds like the best thing.
I think so, because those types of things, they have a wide community benefit. It runs through one of the census blocks that qualifies for CDBG.
Correct.
Like at the end of the day, I just want us to be able to apply for something we can actually get money for CDBG.
Yeah.
CDSG is pretty much a slam dunk, no matter what.
It is.
As long as you apply, you're
get
usually
You're gonna
good.
get it.
Right, right.
And I just think between all this different state funding opportunities, federal opportunities, all these other things, we could make some serious dents in that multi-purpose trail, like Cuyahoga Greenways you talked about. So that's, kind of where we're at in general. I just wanted to also touch on a few really quick things. Just logistically, the deadline to apply for these funds is like the end of the month, right? So we have to move quickly. And we have to decide, make a decision, write the application, write it well enough to actually get approved, have all the supporting documents, and have all that done, basically by end of October.
It all has to be engineered too. Yeah.
Right? Cost estimates, maybe we need stuff from Brian. And so also that's all to say, only certain areas and certain types of projects will qualify for CDBG. It's not like we can just wave a magic wand and say, we want to do, a giant stormwater improvement in a part of the community that doesn't, qualify for CDBG. CDBG is limited in terms of what you can use it for, right? And if you don't apply for the right types of things or in the right parts of the community, you won't get the grant award. And we are competing with Cuyahoga County has more municipalities than any other county in the state, and we are competing with them to get these funds.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just important that we pick something, like Janine said, that qualifies, like the Greenways plan. I also think, and this would be, I think a conversation for us to have with Gary and, his interest in his workload, but we could also do with a master plan update. I think we could certainly write for CDSG for one thing, $50,000 to do, a community driven master plan update, and then 150 towards the Greenways project or what have you. So, or just, if we got to take the easy way out, we can keep chipping away at more sidewalks, and that's still a good thing. So, that's where we're at.
Yep, I've already texted Tom Capella. He'll talk to me in the morning. That's the guy that does our estimates for, our engineering estimates. So he may have sent it and I just missed it. I can't seem to find
For
it.
greenways?
The great, no, yeah, the trail. He
For the
was going to
trail,
give us an
yeah.
estimate. And then, I am a very big proponent on an update of our comprehensive plan that we did in 2019. Seems like yesterday,
I
but it
know.
will be 5 years. And you really have to take a look at that again. And then our zoning plan, our master plan for land use is dated 2014. And that is 10 years. That's 10 years. Things change. All you just want to do is verify that the same priorities for our community exist. People still would like this, this, and this, or have things changed and they really want this, that, and this. And so it's an opportunity for input. I'd like to see, once we would do that, that 50,000 could be used for those two kinds of things because they really go hand in hand. And in the process, put something on as an opportunity to get input online. Let's talk Olmsted is what I've always said. Kind of you can come on in and tell us what you like. We can give you a checklist of what they cost and how you would like our community to look. And it's not a forum for, my neighbor's dog is barking. It's a forum for this is how I'd like to see this is how I like to see our community look. So I think.
Well, even separate from CDSG, I'm glad you brought that up. Even separate from CDSG, if we get a solid IT vendor with capacity, they can definitely design and build something like that for us on our webpage. And I think regardless of this, I think that's something that we should pursue.
Yeah.
I know, talk with someone at Hudson, they have something, Let's Talk Hudson or Talking Hudson or something. And they have had huge success doing that. And I think this is all part of that re-engagement of our community in the planning process. And I always think that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Great ideas come out of that.
Yeah.
And I think we'll do some good things.
Just so it's a public, it is a public.
It is, yeah. So if anyone wants to talk about or has any ideas that you want to share with us right now, you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, it's public. This portion is, supposed to be kind of a forum.
Right, so we can
If
figure
folks
out,
wanna
because
bring
we've
their-
got to write for it.
And folks, my email's publicly posted as part of this. If somebody's not here, wants to share their thoughts, they can email me. I'll share it with the board.
Right, right.
Anybody online can contact any of the board members and just let us know. Brian, how many people are online?
We had 7, up to 8 earlier. Right now we have 6.
Okay,
They're
great.
up behind you if you want to see who's on.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Okay.
Does
Yeah,
anybody have anything that yes, Frank?
I have a couple of things I wanted to touch base on the IT. With all due respect to the three of you, with the new trustee coming on board in January, wouldn't it be better to hold off on the decision or any input from that for whoever the new trustee will be for something that's going to go on for any length of time?
we've discussed that, but I think it's a timely, we just want to get this moving.
Yeah.
I think that's the big part of it. But I know
Can you
your point.
get the opinion of the,
Yeah.
of any of the contestants?
no, Frank, you come on, you're like a deer in headlights. I was a deer in headlights for about 4 months.
Okay. Okay, the other thing is, I'm not a Facebook person, never have been. But on the Olmsted Township and Falls Facebook page, there was an innuendo that accused the Columbia Park resident, which is me, of putting political signs at the back entrance of Columbia Park. I have permission to put those signs there from Windward and the general manager to put those signs there.
I put 3 sets of signs up and they were gone. Over the weekend, somebody maybe out of guilt, put 2 signs back by a tree. I put them back up yesterday. Today, when I come to the meeting, Tom Cole's sign is gone again. Now this has got to stop. I got permission to do that. I got permission from Drew Hartman, who's the manager of Family Dollar, to put the signs in front of his store. Those are still there because there's too much traffic for somebody to steal.
Frank,
Now, I don't know, there's somebody watching on Facebook right now, listening to me, and I wish they'd stop this. I know it's an offense. I don't know what degree offense, maybe Tom could share that, but it's against the law to steal
Can we
signs.
just put a pin in this until the end of the meeting? Just if there's any comment related to this item, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah.
I totally understand. You're upset. You're allowed to be upset.
Yeah.
I'll save that to the end.
You
It's like-
know,
Yeah, no,
that's-
yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry,
yeah.
Paul,
This is-
that's
yeah,
right.
CD it's for the
Come on.
CDSG or CDBG,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
If
Does
you come up-
anybody have anything that they'd like to share with us? Any ideas?
Anything they'd like us to consider? Gary, I don't know if you've worked on these types of things before in other capacities, not to put you on the spot, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have in my past, we did a sanitary sewer lighting project, in my old municipality. There was only one section of that city that qualified and
Right.
we were successful.
Nice.
Okay, that's great.
Anybody else?
What kind of projects do they want to?
I think Gary raises a good point. It's like, is it a project that potentially qualifies? Is it infrastructure? Is it housing related? Is it economic development related? Like, there are pretty broad buckets that these can fall under. The big thing for CDBG is, does it directly impact a census tract that is considered low to moderate income? Right? The bottom quartile for that, not just like a little bit low to moderate income, but bottom quartile. For us, that's the precinct or census block that contains Columbia Park. So the entirety of that precinct qualifies for CDBG. And then the one that has Oakwood Apartments and South. And that's part of why we were able to get the funds for the Cook Road Sidewalk project, because the Cook Road Sidewalk ran straight through that precinct. So it's more of a location thing than it is
more of a location thing.
unless it's a project that like you can pitch like, oh, it has a community-wide benefit that will also help these 2 precincts. But those are, I think, harder. You have to tie it together, and I think those are more of a reach, and we just want to make sure that we keep getting this money, you know, so.
And one of the things we looked at is economic development, because that's a benefit to all. Everybody, okay? And part of it is like us to a storefront renovation for we have 3 kind of, we have the Bagley Road, retail, we have the Cook Road, and then we have the one on Columbia Road. So we're thinking, does any with this benefit? So our goal here is to try to see what, I mean, Riley did a great job in getting that sidewalk on Cook Road. It's been on our TLCI NOACA list since 2013. Okay, and we got it. Fabulous. We still got lots more, but most of it is not in a bad census tract.
Right.
So we're gonna have to pick away at that a little at a time. But so, I mean, if you can think of, look at our community and see what falls in economic development, falls within infrastructure, what we might do to enhance our parks in any way. This is all part of the thing that kind of let you have a slam dunk on something. So keep your thoughts and send them on to us. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for their participation. C, Morton's landscape quote for leaf pickup, including a leaf vac truck, driver, and labor at $17.20 per day if needed. I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
Okay, to approve the Morton's landscape quote for $1,720 per day. Trustees Barrett,
Yes.
trustee Alton,
Yes.
and trustee Cross.
Okay, the Olmsted Bulldogs Music Association. Last year, we contributed $375. I don't know if it says anything here about Does it
I
say
think
anything?
that's a half page, but I'm not
Is it?
sure.
It does not, it's not saying, it doesn't say anything on here. No, there's nothing on here, but, if, 375 is fine with me again, if we want to do that.
Yeah, I think we like to support that.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm gonna move to approve 375 for 2023.
Second.
Okay, to approve the contribution to Olmsted Falls Music Association for 375, trustee Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alden,
Yes.
trustee Cross.
Yes,
Okay, master printing mailing proposal for the Good Neighbor Guide.
we're not ready to actually vote on this.
Okay,
I want to make sure that you're all understanding that this is a guide that will be, well, we're anticipating a mailing of 10,000. We're still in the final review and proofreading, but it will have all kinds of information for our residents and for future residents. It'll go out as new people move into our community. And we've just we're still trying to figure out how to put the map in and this kind of thing, but we're looking at this as a baseline quote. Okay, and we've worked with Master before. We've also worked with direct
marketing solutions.
marketing solutions. So those are the two people we kind of go to on this one, but I'm just giving you an idea. We're not there yet.
Okay,
When we get there, I'll let you know.
okay, great. Consent agenda items, meeting minutes, September 27th, 2023, payment of bills and payroll, warrants 44161 and 44240, vouchers 1381, 2023 to 1382, 2023, and 1448, 2023 to 1451, 2023, EOs 1383, 2023 to 1447, 2023. I so move.
Second.
And also, these consent agenda items are available upon request. I don't know why our wording got taken off of there. I'll ask her to put that back on. And then to approve the consent agenda items, both A and B, trustees Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alden,
Yes.
and trustee Cross.
Yes,
Okay, resolution 108 is the appropriation budget adjustment transfers. I'm going to move to approve.
second,
Okay, trustee Alden, second that. So to approve resolution 108 2023, the reappropriation of budget adjustments and transfers. Trustees Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alden,
Yes.
trustee Cross.
yes,
Okay, resolution 109, 2023 is the expenditure department purchase orders. I'm going to move to approve.
second,
Okay, to approve resolution 109 2023, expenditure and department purchase orders. Trustees Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alden,
Yes.
trustee Cross.
yes,
And resolution 110, 2023 is the appointment of the township administrator, Gary Yelenowski.
Yeah.
Gary, did you want to say a few words?
Sure. Yeah, I just want to thank the trustees for, selecting me in this position. Very excited to be here. To know the department has better working with all of you and just working every day with the residents. So very excited. Can't wait to join.
Great, thank you,
Thanks.
Gary. Okay, I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
Okay, to approve resolution 110 2023, the appointment of a township administrator, full-time employee Greg Yelenowski.
Gary.
Gary Yelenowski, trustee Bear,
Yes.
and trustee Alden,
Yes.
and trustee Cross.
yes, very enthusiastic.
Great.
Yes. Resolution 111, 2023 is the fire department appointment of part-time firefighter Ryan Frank. I'm going to move to approve.
Second,
Okay, and to approve resolution 111 2023, the fire department appointment of part-time firefighter Ryan Frank, trustee Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alden,
Yes.
trustee Cross.
yes,
Resolution 112, 2023 is the service department appointment of full-time tech Jason Hune. I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
And to approve resolution 112 2023, service department full-time tech one Jason Hume, trustee Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alden,
Yes.
trustee Cross.
yes,
Resolution 113, 2023 is the service department retaining Fabrizi trucking for our county roads. I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
Okay, to approve resolution 113-2023. The service department retaining Fabrizi to do snow and ice for the county roads. Trustees Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alden,
Yes.
trustee Kress.
Yes.
Okay, and then we had one public comment which you had expounded
I took
upon.
enough of the board's time.
That's all right, Frank.
You're passionate, Frank.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, I guess that is it. I am going to move to 8:30. I'm going to move to close the meeting at 8:30.
Second. Okay, to approve adjournment at 8:30. Trustees Bear.
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
trustee Kress.
Yes.
Great.
Move about the.
Yeah, you're.
Right.
Move about the- Yeah, move about the
Thank you,
cabin.
gentlemen. Thank you for coming, everybody.
Thank you, everyone online. Have a good night.
Lisa, did you try to show me?
Like, he said he's been some calls and he came here just to.
Oh, I'm actually a service provider.
Oh.
I have new